Who can get an erection in Ohio? Hello, and welcome to another episode of Cheap Smut. My name is Katie Mizell.
And my name is Carl Mizell.
And this is a podcast that is so tie-tie. Hello.
Hi.
How are you, my dear?
I am also tie-tie, but we are tired for different but similar, or
Yes.
different but associated reasons.
Yes.
I did that thing that I do every once in a while where I go away for a couple of days. I've been back for all of about 3 hours.
Yeah.
Spent the
Just about.
spent the last couple of days in Columbus, Ohio at a conference.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm happy to be home, and of course you are tired because you've been running solo duty.
Yes.
With the little ones.
Yes.
But
I've been solo parenting these two children for the last couple of days.
Yep. But
And
hey,
I'm tired about it.
it's the nature of our
is.
existence, but
It is.
it's a good one, and we are lucky
Yeah.
to.
But, like nobody ever gets mad when coal miners say they're tired at the end of a shift, It's hard.
It is hard.
It's hard out here.
It's just a different.
Yeah, it's just a different kind of hard.
Different kind of hard.
Yeah.
Wink.
Anyway.
But aside from that, you good?
Aside from that, yes, I am. I'm kind of sweaty, but that's, that's just a personal problem. Other than that, yeah, I'm great. I have a belly full of Taco Bell, so I am ready to go.
Oh, absolutely. Well, there's no need to dilly or dally. I'll let you disrobe to a level of comfort that is conducive to making a podcast.
Yep. All right. I got this.
And let's just get after it, man.
Hell yeah, let's do it.
Don't need to burden everybody with our crosstalk.
No. So this week I read Stripped Raw by Miss Merican. Miss Merican is a duo of writers who write under two different pen names, K.A. Merican and Miss Merican. K.A. Merican is specifically only MM romance. So anything that falls outside of that, that's still within their universe that they write, they just put it under the Miss Merican name instead.
Huh.
It's a pretty cool way of delineating. So if you want gay, for sure gay, you want K.A. Merican. If you want all the same stuff, but maybe not as gay, you want Miss Merican.
Okay. Good to know.
Yeah. So this book is Sex and Mayhem Book 3, the Coffin Nails MC California. So the books sort of bop around in between 3 or 4 different motorcycle clubs. There's like Coffin Nails of like California, and then there's like a different Coffin Nails, and then there's like the Louisiana branch, which is called like, I can't remember, but I swear to God it was like Gators and Gaping or something crazy like that. I can't remember what it was called, but it was really cool.
It's the 3 Gs: Gators, Gumbo, and Gaping.
Ah, yeah, there you go. Somebody out, I know that that's not what it's actually called. Somebody out there is welcome to write Gators and Gaping if you want.
It's not gonna be. It's
you
not gonna be us.
That. It's not gonna be me. You can have that for free. All right. So this book is available for $4.99 or through Kindle Unlimited. Like it is number 3. There are 13 books total. There's plenty of material here, and it was really, really good. So this week's book's triggers are immoral main characters.
Oh no!
Straight up immoral.
My biggest trigger.
Yeah. Trans character, which is not in itself a trigger, but if that word triggered you, please leave.
Yeah. That was a test.
Yeah, that was a test. You failed. Go away. Get out. Transphobia and dead naming, which happens on page. Criminal behavior, drugs, murder, guns, girls, all the morally gray shit that comes with a motorcycle club. This is not one of our like altruistic, we're a motorcycle club that takes care of the neighborhood and like make sure that, the kids have peanut butter sandwiches or whatever. They like run drugs and girls and shit. They're actually bad guys in this one.
They could do both.
They could do both
if they wanted.
Like it feels like there's a delineation in MC romances where you either have like the Sons of Anarchy or you have like Captain Leather's pedal pusher patrol. I can't like they're either terrifying or they're like sweet babies who ride motorcycles. Like there's no in between.
Well, but based on what I've heard you say just around the house and also on TikTok, it sounds like they are threading a needle in that regard.
In that regard, yes, because they are adorable.
Okay.
They have a very sweet found family element that I enjoy very much. They're very cute, but that doesn't mean that they're nice people.
Are there more content warnings? Because
yes.
Okay, I'll finish those because I have a question.
Okay, so there's no more content warnings, but we have some tropes. So our tropes are MC romance, motorcycle romance, damsel in distress, misunderstandings and miscommunication, and deep dark secrets. Those are our tropes. What was your question, my dear?
Why, in your opinion, and because you can't definitively speak as a monolith for a community, what is like it's so odd to me that the motorcycle club is a trope. Like what is it about that it's not just a trope, it's a genre?
Yeah. Well, I think part of it is like because the motorcycle club is established in American history as sort of a bad boy, or it is as its own sort of archetype, like cowboys, motorcycle club, cops. Like there's a specific like sort of like male groups that are expected to behave a certain way.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
And then we can sort of build a reality around them with rules that are already well established. It especially helps for something like an MC romance, that there's an entire world of motorcycle club rules and regulations that's on the internet that you can find. So it all sounds real legit, which is cool. So let's see. Do I have any more notes that I need to get? Oh, yeah. Okay. Many of these men are not good people. Many of these men do not respect women. If I had the power, I would jump into the book and punch a few of them directly in their bitch mouths. Fuck them. So there you go. Not all of these people are likable. And I have weird feelings about that because like I don't always like to watch or read entertainment that is like designed to piss me off. I don't always like deliberately unlikable characters. But these are all secondary characters. So it was a little easier for me this time.
Yeah. Not a lot of watching of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia in this house.
No, absolutely not. No, Katie can't do that.
I can't even. Like, I've tried, and it even is, like, too much for me.
I mean, I'll watch little clips on it so I can watch Binging with Babish,
Right. So you can catch up on, like, when he's making milk steak.
Exactly, because I just need to know what a rum ham is. Like, or milk steak. Or any of the other horrific foods he has cooked from that show.
Yeah. Fight milk.
Fight milk. Fight milk. I can't remember what it is. I think it's like equal parts milk and vodka or something.
It's like
horrible
protein
like
powder
that.
and vodka.
Oh God, eagle screech, but oh God.
But also vomit sounds.
Yikes. Anyway, I started blasting. I've never watched Always Sunny, but I know all the memes.
Yeah, I get it.
That's what I was going to do next. Okay, before we become an Always Sunny podcast.
I know, I think we are. Did you hear the door? I think Rob McElhenney just showed up at the door.
Oh my God, really? Hi. You want to talk about soccer with me? We should probably talk about this book though.
Yeah, let's.
Yes, let's. Okay, so let's begin with our FMC. Our FMC this week, her name is Jolie, Jolie, Jolie. She's approximately mid-20s. I don't know exactly how old, but I'm basing that off of timeline and general behavior. She is a beautiful, blonde, blue-eyed, all-American from Kansas.
Oh, wow.
She is a girly girl. She loves frilly and feminine clothing. She works a job at a 50s style diner, partly because she really enjoys the poodle skirt uniform that she gets to wear. And the fact that she gets to practice victory roles so that she can have a more aesthetically pleasing hair for her job. She loves that kind of stuff. She wears heeled slippers inside the house.
Yeah, I mean, you don't need to work in a 50 style diner to work on your victory roles. You can just do them.
I mean, yes. But also, now she has a really good excuse.
Yeah, I mean,
but yeah.
If you do what you love, you never work a day in your life,
exactly.
Right?
So that's Jolie. She moved to California with her shitty ex-boyfriend, Jake. TW for shitty ex-boyfriends.
Named Jake.
Named Jake, yep. Jake racked up a shit ton of debt immediately when they got to California. They were living the high life, and she was an idiot and co-signed on a bunch of loans And then Jake skipped town, and now she is stuck with all of his debt, including some very unsecured debt to some Italian mobsters that she has to pay off as well, because they don't give a fuck who's paying.
Yeah.
They're showing up to the apartment and they need their money. So she is currently working 3 jobs to just scrimp together enough to like pay her bills and make her payments so that nobody kills her or repossesses her car. But she is completely fucked financially. Like I said, Jake disappeared as soon as it got too hot. He just left.
I'm guessing this isn't Jake from State Farm.
No, Jake from State Farm would never. He would never.
Would never.
So at the start of this book, Jolie is waiting on 2 different knocks on the door. She's waiting on a knock from the Coffin Nails Motorcycle Club, who are delivering hash to her so that she can make hash brownies for a party that the Coffin Nails are hosting. So she is making the brownies for them.
Why? How is she connected to them already?
Because, as my next sentence was going to say, she is a caterer. She sells baked goods out of her kitchen. That's one of her 3 jobs. So
okay,
she's selling baked goods out of her kitchen. She has somehow gotten herself in connection with a motorcycle club who have offered to pay her quite a lot of money to bake them some hash brownies for their Prez's old lady's birthday party that they're having this evening. They are also bringing the payment for these hash brownies at the same time. That payment will then turn around and be used to pay for the second knock on the door, which is the Italian gangsters who are coming to pick up their payment for that month.
Okay.
So the first knock on the door is the Coffin Nails rep, and he is our MMC. His name is Sam. Sam is like stupid gym fit. He has like 0% body fat, and he is covered in tattoos from head to toe, like covered.
Well, then what's the point of being so cut, man? All that ink is going to hide those cuts, bro.
Yeah, well, he has his reasons, I guess. But he takes his body like very seriously. He works out all the time. He's a little bit shorter than our usual MMC. He's only like 5'11" or something, because Jolie says that he is just a couple inches taller than she is.
A petite 5'11".
Yeah, but, well, our usual MMCs are like 7'6" or whatever.
I know, even the human ones.
Even the human ones are gigantic, and Sam's just a normal sized human being.
Oh, good for Sam.
Right?
How refreshing.
Right? Exactly. He has big gray eyes with moony lashes, and he has a beard and a very like a wide septum ring and a mohawk. And he wears his leather cut because he is a patched member of the Coffin Nails MMC. He is a bad boy to the core. And Jolie immediately is like, I want to jump this man's bones. That must mean he's not a good guy, because I have really bad taste in men. Like at this point, Jolie just thinks she has terrible taste in men in general. So the fact that she wants Sam means there's something wrong.
I can't quite put my finger on it. Is it his commitment to fitness? Is it his excellent grooming? Or is it his membership in a violent criminal enterprise?
Exactly. I don't know. So in addition to being a member of the Coffin Nails, he is also a mechanic, and he works at their auto shop.
Naturally.
Yes. So as I said, he is a patched member. There's just a couple of words we need to know going forward that are like motorcycle terms. So patched means that he is a full-fledged member. He has the patch on his cut.
It means he's deployed. No, that's
yeah.
It's the military.
This is the military. No, he has the patch on his cut. He also has a tattoo, like the tattoo. He has earned the right to tattoo the club's logo on his body. He is a dedicated, loyal member of the Coffin Nails MC. Then we have prospects, which are exactly what they sound like. They're probationary members, but they walk around with a big patch on their cut that says prospect, and they're sort of like pledges.
Mm-hmm.
They get hazed, they do grunt work. And then the other word that we need to know is hang-arounds. And hang-arounds are exactly what they sound like again, but that is a gender neutral term. Women seem to be groupies and men seem to be potential prospects, but they are all called hang-arounds. And they will just sort of like, they'll just like grab in the book, they'll say like, I just grabbed a hang-around and asked for a sandwich. So they'll just go do whatever, I guess, for you. Great. Cool. So Sam is patched. He is here to deliver drugs. He is also here to flirt with the very pretty girl that he just met.
Of course.
So he lays it on thick. The chemistry between them is immediate. He calls her Candy because the name of her business is Candy Girl. Her baking business is Candy Girl. He will always call her this from now on. It's adorable and delightful, but also she's like, that's not my name. Candy sometimes, Jolie sometimes has a hard time speaking up for herself because she's just a sweet little thing from Kansas. She's not always prepared. She'll figure her shit out over the course of the book, as they always do. So the flirtation between Sam and Jolie is immediate. He is all bravado and seduction. He comes on incredibly strong. She loves it. She really loves the attention. She's, like I said, immediately super attracted to him. But again, because he turns her on so much, she's like, maybe I shouldn't be hanging out with you. And also, you deliver drugs for a criminal organization.
Yeah.
It's a whole thing.
I feel like that's going to get in the way.
Yeah. Like, that might be a problem for me if you are committing crimes.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of crimes.
Yeah. Because
it's not that it's drugs, because the drugs I don't have a problem with. It's crimes.
Yeah. Because I'm expecting a visit from Italian mobsters.
Yeah. Last thing I need is more crime.
Yeah. So I feel like I'm all full up on the crime.
Exactly.
I don't need any more.
It's like walking into Olive Garden and ordering the fried ravioli and the shrimp Alfredo or whatever. Like, it's too full. It's too much.
Get soup and salad.
2 meals.
Soup, salad, and breadsticks.
Unlimited breadsticks.
That's all you need. Get yourself a man that's unlimited breadsticks.
You're unlimited breadsticks, babe.
Yeah, but I'm also like unlimited breadsticks that you could like hook a small chain to and use as nunchaku.
I was gonna say you're like unlimited.
Nunchaku.
You're unlimited breadsticks, but if they were made by Quest.
Yeah.
High protein breadsticks.
High protein breadsticks that will also break your face if need be.
Could be used as a baton, some kind of weapon. I could sharpen them.
I think that'd be the most. I would be the most friendly, like heavy. Hey, you can't do that. Come here. Whap.
What do we? Aw, knucklehead.
Yeah.
What'd you learn?
I give him a noogie, but like down to the skin.
Yep. Give him a noogie after they're already just like drooling blood.
Yeah. What did we learn?
Nothing.
Hey, it's not a mistake if you learn from it. You're gonna want to see a dentist. Put those in milk and take it to a dentist.
Milk? That's not true.
I know. They don't need to know that.
I had my teeth put on ice when I had my accident.
Yeah.
They put them in a baggie and they put them in a cup of ice.
That was one of our weirder digressions.
I know. I just now remembered that.
Well, let's get this one back on the road.
You can cut it if you don't want it there.
No, it's totally okay.
Right.
I want to leave it in for posterity.
So the loan shark's enforcer Bastian arrives to collect his payment. Jolie shoves Sam into the bedroom real quick. She's just like, go, I gotta go do something else real quick. And she handles Bastian. She goes back, and in her bedroom, Sam has found this massive, like, whirling, pumping, might have been singing a jig, rabbit dildo.
Yeah, I was gonna say it has to be a dildo.
Yeah, right. And he has it turned on, like all the functions are going. And he's just like looking at it like, what the fuck? And she's trying to get it back from him, and she can't, because even though he's a shorter MC, he's still taller than her, so he's holding it above her head.
Yeah.
And eventually he gets her to agree to come to the party that she's bringing those brownies to. Don't just come and drop them off. Stay for a couple of hours. And then I will give you this dildo back if you agree to do that. And I told you, immoral main characters. We're working with the morally gray this time.
It's not morally gray. That's just rude.
It is rude. There's a few times in this book where I was like, that's a manipulation tactic there, guys.
You walk down and toss it in his saddlebag on his motorcycle. Like,
right.
You'll get this back once you've come to the party.
So she agrees to do that. And he's like, now seal it with a kiss. And she's like, okay.
Gross.
Oh, I guess. Like, she was fully on board for this kiss, 100%. As soon as they kiss, things start to get like hot pretty immediately. Things got horny, and I was like, oh, is this going to be one of those books where we're like fucking in chapter 1? No, because he gets a phone call, and then he has to leave. As soon as he leaves, she just like leans her forehead right against the door and just starts jilling it. Because she can't, she's like, holy fuck, that guy, it was too hot for his own damn good. The next night, Jolie goes to the party. She immediately feels overdressed for it because she is wearing like a sweet dress with crinolines and stockings, and everybody else is in motorcycle gear or dressed like a club slut, as they would call them, or not dressed at all, because there are also poles at this place. Like, they're strippers. They're just going, dancing.
I mean, no self-respecting motorcycle club.
I mean, why not have titties when you could have titties all the time?
Yeah.
On a pole. Makes sense to me. Does. It makes sense to me.
Say it.
Yeah. So there is some tension between Sam and one of the other brothers, whose name is Red Jack, when Jolie arrives, because Red Jack's like, dibs, and Sam is like, no, I called dibs yesterday. And Red Jack's like, no, that's not how that works. So instead they play rock, paper, scissors. And Sam wins because Rock smashes scissors, I believe. Yeah, Rock breaks scissors. I put it in my notes and everything.
I put it in my notes and everything, including a note that says you will forget this.
Yeah, it might. It doesn't. What the note should have said was, why are two men playing rock, paper, scissors for the right to date a woman who isn't even part of this conversation? That's what my notes should have said.
And also not property.
Maybe Jolie would like to have a word.
Yeah.
About who gets to win this fucking rock, paper, scissors for her pussy.
Did you guys notice that I'm a human being?
Right?
With autonomy?
I mean.
Anyway.
But in the meantime, Sam and Jolie go outside to get some privacy. They have a couple of beers. They chat. This property is like right on the beach. It is MC property. It's where their garage is, and it's where they're like, I kept thinking of it like a frat house because it's the same sort of idea, but it's like it's a really well fortified box of a building where they party, they hang out, and every patched member has a room.
Yep.
So you could sleep there if you wanted to.
And every Tuesday they host a very rigorous spin class.
Yeah, and you have no idea how important it is to go to every single one, because if you miss just one, Angry Steve is I couldn't think of a good nickname, and I dropped it after Angry Steve.
Nope, it's Angry Steve. Why do you call him that? Because there's another Steve? Nope.
Soul Cycle with Angry Steve. Welcome back to Peloton. I'm Angry Steve.
Why are you here?
Fuck you. Pedal faster.
Fuck you for showing up. I'm gonna kick your ass.
So they go out to the beach. Sam is like, oh, well, the stars will get me lucky. Like, that's why he wants to go out to the beach. He's like, well, it's beautiful, so maybe she'll make out with me a little bit.
Bitches love stars.
Bitches love stars. Oh my God. They start talking when they get to the beach. Jolie is not having a very good time. She doesn't feel like she fits in here. She's not part of this crowd, but she also sees this as like a business opportunity and not a date. Like, she's here to market and like network, but she's like, I don't know why I thought this would be a networking opportunity. I was delivering hash brownies to a motorcycle club, and I was like, yeah, honey. Yeah.
But now.
But that's what Sam says. He's like, well, no, don't worry about it, because you've ingratiated yourself with Borg, their prez, his name is Borg, and you've ingratiated yourself with his old lady, whose name is Gina. So if your brownies are good and everybody gets high, you're going to get a lot of work.
And then they'll all find you on LinkedIn, and they'll all endorse your hash brownie baking scheme. There you go.
Exactly.
It's your networking.
See, now you have an entire thriving business. It just so happens that most of your customer base is a bunch of outlaws, but that's okay. They have money.
And they're all on LinkedIn.
Exactly. They're all on LinkedIn.
I love the idea of a motorcycle club that's on LinkedIn.
Two of them just sell Monat.
Yeah. Angry Steve endorsed Jolie for hash brownies.
Angry Steve loves those brownies. That's why he does the Soul Cycle, so that he can keep having the brownies.
You gotta pedal them off. Otherwise they go right to your thighs.
Steve, that's not a good way to think about your body. Just enjoy the food you want to enjoy.
Just get it. Just eat it.
It's okay. It's okay. Okay. So he asks her, like, why are you so stressed out, baby girl? And she's like, I don't know, maybe because I'm working 3 jobs and one of those jobs is delivering food and I have like this shit can of a car and I am stressed out all the time. She doesn't tell him about the debt that she is in with the mobsters or the rest of the debt that she's in because she has like actual bank debt too. But he offers to take care of her car for her. At least he's like, at least I am a mechanic, I can take care of that. But she does not want to take any help from anyone that would indebt her in any way.
Yeah.
So she's like, thanks, but no thanks. Then they start to get flirty again, but they both agree that they're only there for something casual. Neither one of them wants a relationship. Once they've established that, they start making out. Things start getting frisky. I was like, oh, are we gonna fuck on the beach then? Is that what's going to happen? No, because then the doors burst open, the brownies have kicked in, everybody's high as a kite, and they want to go skinny dipping in the ocean now. So a bunch of like naked and half naked people are running by, and Jolie gets excited and she's like, you know what, I'm going to go do this. So she takes off her dress and she reveals that she has Jake's name tattooed across the entirety of her ass, which is so sad. So sad, because she can't afford to get it removed or covered up. Yikes. It's like across her whole ass. Oh,
God.
I know, right?
Like JAOKE.
Right? This is JAKE. The O is silent. And
most of the time, if you know what I mean.
She gets in the water. She's having a great time. But Sam stomps away to mope because Sam can't go skinny dipping because Sam doesn't have a dick, because Sam is a trans man, and nobody in the MC or anywhere in California knows that about Sam. Sam has fully transitioned, and the only thing that he does not have is a dick.
Okay.
He has some bottom growth. Do you know anything about how testosterone would affect
a little bit?
So he has some bottom growth. His clitoris has now engorged to the point where it does look like a small penis, but it's never going to get any bigger than that. And while there are surgeries, he doesn't want those surgeries because they come with risks, and he doesn't see the benefit of it. He wears a packer all of the time. It's fine. He's mostly fine, except he can't ever do shit like this.
Right.
So instead he goes back to where the rest of the party is. He's all pissy. One like stray idiot sets him off and he puts the guy in the hospital because he's so upset. Go to therapy, Sam, I guess. Go to therapy. And then he spends like the rest of the night moping. The next day he wakes up. Candy has gone home, or Jolie has gone home. She got driven home by one of the prospects because she was way too drunk, but they made sure that she got home safely. He goes downstairs and immediately talks to Borg and I think one other. Okay. So he goes down, he has breakfast. He gets Candy's card, Jolie's card, because she has left it for him. So he can call her later. And then he has a meeting with Borg, Glock, and Viper. So Borg is the president. Glock is his right hand. Viper is the head of security.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, head of security. And then there's Sam, who does not have an official designation, but seems to be in charge of most of the drug running. So in the meeting, we get a couple of things. Sam gets a large legal envelope for a Samantha Johnson. He says he doesn't know who that is, but Prez tells them to deal with it anyway. By order of the Prez's old lady, Gina, they are going to take care of her friend Adriana's husband for Adriana's own safety because the bruises are getting too bad. They are losing a bunch of drug mules. Someone is tipping off the police. They aren't sure who it is because they have arrested the most loyal already and they haven't talked. So there's somebody inside the organization who is giving them information. Viper and Glock are now in charge of that investigation. That's all the important stuff that we need to know from that meeting. Someone then comes in to tell them that they are being raided by the cops, like as they speak. A cop named Paulson has gone like full vendetta mode against the Coffin Nails because they killed his partner. He used to be taking bribes from them, and now he's trying to get them all arrested.
No.
Yeah. So the 4 of the men around the table shove the remaining pot brownies in their mouth as fast as they can. Sam manages to swallow 2 of them. Later that day, Jolie comes home from a shift at the diner to find a very high Sam waiting for her in the hallway of her apartment building. So she brings him inside. This is a fantastic like character scene. It starts off with Sam being like super goofy and high and just adorable and flirty. They play like Never Have I Ever, and they just start taking off clothing items. Like it gets really, really cute. It's like generally sort of naughty and fun. And then it gets sort of serious. So Jolie starts sharing a bit about her past. Sam says something like, I bet you were a goody two shoes in school. And Jolie says, actually, no, I posed for a nude calendar and got expelled. And then my parents kicked me out and I moved in with my boyfriend and I never finished high school.
Jeez.
Yeah. That boyfriend that she moved in with was Jake.
Yeah.
Her life sort of fell apart from there, but she no longer speaks to her parents, and she also refuses to go home because she will not accept the "I told you so." She tells Sam that's why she can't get involved with him, because he's just another bad boy who is going to leave her with, quote, a name on her tit and a fuckload of problems. Mm-hmm. But Sam is like, okay, you know what? How about I just help you with some chores for the rest of the afternoon?
Yeah.
And we won't talk about this anymore. 2 days later, while working at her diner job, Jolie greets one of the motorcycle club members whose name is Saint Nick. He looks like Santa Claus, who walks into the diner and then immediately walks back out. And she's like, what the fuck was that about? So she texts Sam, and he doesn't know either. He's out of town for work with the rest of the club. They're in LA. The texting then becomes sexting, which then turns into like a sexting role play. And they have this really fun little like sexting back and forth. Jolie gets so turned on, she goes to the back room and Jills it at work. And I want to say it was like in the food storage room, like the dry storage room. And I was like, Jolie, the rice.
No.
No. Get away from the flour. Please.
You can't do that.
Stop. There's food safety protocols to consider.
Exactly.
God.
I mean, if you've worked in food service, you know that that's a terrible idea.
So gross. Anyway, so she finishes, and then her boss like immediately catches her and is basically sort of a creep about it, but tells her he'll let it slide, but that she shouldn't send pictures of herself to men like over the phone.
Unless they're me.
Okay, thanks for your nosiness, I guess. Yeah. Nobody cares. Bert. I can't remember what his name is. We'll call him Bert. And Jolie's not concerned about whether or not Sam would share those pictures with anyone, because she did send him pictures, but she's not concerned about that because he's too territorial for that. He would never. He would kill somebody.
Sam would never.
Let's see. 2 weeks later, Jolie is driving to drop off a cupcake order to a child's birthday party, and then her car dies and starts smoking on the side of the road. So she has to call Sam, who is back from LA, but who also has not come to see her. So she's like, I don't know if I should call him because I don't know like what we're about. What are we? My car's dead, and he's a mechanic. Yeah, just call the damn mechanic.
You wanted to keep
Jolie,
it cash.
Jesus Christ. So he comes to pick her up. He tows her car to her client's house so she can drop off the cupcakes on time still, which is very sweet. And then he drives her to the MC garage so that he can take a look at her car. He leaves her in the tow truck to go and do something, and she decides she's going to climb up onto the bed and get her purse out of her car, and like the strap breaks or something and her shit flies all over her car. So she starts digging it all out, and while she is doing that, Glock and a prospect named Monster come into the garage and start just openly discussing their planned murder. And the fact that they're going to use a knife which Officer Paulson has touched so that they can frame him for this murder for blackmail so that they can get the cops off their ass. Mm-hmm. And then they realize that Jolie's in the car and they pull her out and they're like, what did you hear? And she's like, nothing, I swear. And this scene got very scary very quickly, and the whole time I was sitting there going, these dumb motherfuckers were discussing a murder in a business that they run.
Yeah, that is I'm guessing is like
it's a public business.
There you go. That was my question.
Other people bring their cars here, and they just like wandered around and were like, yeah, I'm going to stab the guy tonight. Hey, you, come here. I have to murder you now that you've heard my nefarious plan, idiot.
I'm going to leave a scathing Yelp review.
Seriously, I would too.
0,
I would get it.
5.
I would.
Some
Coffin
guy.
Nails MC Auto Shop. Some guy started planning a murder in front of me and then threatened to kill me because I'd seen his face? Question mark, question mark, question mark.
010. Do not recommend.
So they start dragging her, Glock and Monster start dragging her away, talking about how they're going to like, they're not going to kill her, but they're going to make sure she doesn't talk. And they're talking about like getting nails and a hammer. Apparently, they would have nailed her to a wall. What the fuck? Again, you were talking about this in your business.
Yeah, guys, it's a real simple.
It's not her fault.
It's real simple. I know this is an audio medium, but I'm gonna look to the left. I'm gonna look to the right. Conspiratorially, I think we're clear. It's that simple.
Is that fucking simple? Seriously. So Sam comes to the rescue in this situation and convinces Glock that he will take care of it. And he's like, but he's also like, but in the future, maybe don't plan your murders in our place of business. Like, come on. How fucking stupid can you be? It drives me crazy.
The MC does not stand for
God.
murder conversations. It stands for Motorcycle Club. Murder chats.
Murder conversations.
Coffin Nails murder.
Coffin Nails murder conversations. That sounds like it should be hosted by someone who sounds like David Attenborough. So sweaty. Okay, so back to this. So Sam breaks it up. He's like, why didn't you just say something when you first heard them planning the murder? And she was like, because it wasn't gonna help. What?
I tried clearing my throat.
Right? Right? I mean,
Please don't talk about murder.
just start singing, pretending to be on the radio. And now our new hit song from I was gonna say Paramore. Yeah, from Paramore. Please don't plan your murder in public.
This is why you don't plan murder in public.
So the adrenaline rush of all of this, once Sam gets her away from Glock and Monster, he gets her to calm down enough to talk to her. And she says, I don't want to know anything else at all. I just want my car fixed. I don't want to know what's going on. And he is like, okay, great. Come with me. And he takes her into a repair bay and shuts the door. The adrenaline rush turns into a horny rush. Of course it does. You didn't die. You got to fuck about it. So he lays her out on top of a car in this repair bay and fucks her brains out, man. It was great. So Miss Merican rates great porn, like 20 out of 10 porn. It was really, really good. So the entire time, Jolie is just like, she's feeling a lot of emotions, but the main one is like Sam protected her. Mm-hmm. Sam took care of her. She's not worried at all because Sam will be there for her, big strong Sam. And that it was just like an incredibly hot scene. It was great. Anyway, moving on. The next morning, Sam is contemplating what to do because he actually has feelings for Jolie now, and he doesn't know what to do about that. He was wearing a play packer the previous day, and he was wearing one of his good ones, so it felt real because he'd been wearing it long enough for it to be warm. But in future, what the fuck is he going to do? Yeah. You know, he doesn't know if she will spill the beans. The only other time he's ever been with a woman, when they broke up, she spilled the beans and he had to like start a whole new life again.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, I know, right? He still remembers like all of the time he spent, even in his like early young adulthood, learning how to be a mechanic when he finally started living the life he wanted to live, but people still treated him like a novelty
Mhm.
because he was the one quote unquote woman in the mechanics class. He was a butch lesbian. You know, nobody knew how to take him.
Mhm.
And now that he has all of this, he really doesn't want to risk it. So the next like half of the book is him like stressing over whether or not he should tell Jolie.
Mm.
All of that is a very long inner monologue that he has that is stopped because when he gets a text from Borg has called church. Church is a meeting where all of the patched members of the MC are present and equal. They make all of their decisions as a collective. They vote. It was very much like Knights of the Fucked Up Round Table, except their table was shaped like a coffin. So Knights of the Fucked Up Coffin shaped table.
Yeah.
At church, Borg first tells them that they're going to try and frame a cop for murder, basically, but that he has disappeared. Agent Paulson or Officer Paulson has disappeared. Nobody knows where he is. They are now more concerned about an informant within the organization. So while they try to track down Paulson, what they need to do now is decide what to do with the drugs because they haven't been moving any product. They've still been buying product because they don't want their suppliers to know that they're not selling. But they can't sell because they can't move it because the cops are up their asses. So St. Nick suggests that they hide the drugs inside the dresses at Gina's bridal parlor. So Borg's old lady owns a bridal parlor. The group collectively votes and agrees that that is what they are going to do. After church is over, when it's just Borg, Sam, and Borg, Sam, and Viper. No, sorry, I was right the first time. Borg, Sam, and Glock. I get so confused with all these names. When it's just the three of them, they agree that what they're actually going to do is talk to Jolie and get her involved.
Okay.
So the rest of the group now believes that they are hiding the drugs in Gina's parlor. Only Sam, Viper, and Borg know that they are actually going to be hiding them at the storefront that they are going to offer candy. So Sam texts Jolie and tells her that he's coming over. And he does not tell her that he's bringing Borg. So when she answers the door naked, there is first a moment of incredible awkwardness. And then once that calms down, they come inside and they offer her, basically what they offer her is this. We have a storefront for cheap.
Yep.
Dirt cheap, one might say. We will convert it into a bakery and sweets shop for you. We will pay you and you can keep money from whatever you sell. In exchange, you let us do your books and you store product for us. So they're going to be laundering money through this place and they're going to be storing drugs there. And she's like, my own business?
It's going to be a laundromat too, though.
Right? Like, one of the first things Sam thinks after she agrees is, wow, she really just glossed over the storing drugs and laundering money part. Like, she really just heard my own bakery and just went for it.
Hey, man, you got to focus on your dreams.
Right? Exactly. So she's not 100% down with all of this, but she also doesn't necessarily think that she can say no to a proposition like this. So she tells Borg that she will think about it, but that now she has to go to work. So Borg leaves her with Sam. Sam drives her to work. It's her first ride on a motorcycle. She loves it. And Sam is like, I have never, ever been happier than at this exact moment with this lady riding my bike. It was so great. He drives her to work. He drops her off. Initially, he's like, I'm coming too. And she's like, no, you're not. She goes inside. She started, and then he comes in 5 minutes later as a customer. But they do some cute little, like, I don't know who you are, flirty role play stuff, which is great until the moment that she goes back to actually put his order into the system, and her boss makes some really gross comment about her to Sam, and Sam puts him through a table. Because of course he does. You don't fuck with Sam. So initially the guy's like, I've got video of her over there, like jacking off in the storage room. What are you going to do about it? And Sam's like, I'm going to murder you.
Yeah.
Legitimately. And without any remorse. So the guy's like, never mind, I won't tell anyone. And Jolie immediately quits her job. So they leave. She climbs on the back of his bike. She is feeling free. She has quit this horrible job with this boss that she hates. She was only really into it because of the poodle skirt. And now she doesn't have to deal with it anymore. And she's officially feeling as empowered as she thinks Sam sees her. Inside her own head now, she will refer to herself as Candy. So for the rest of the book, she is Candy all the time. Instead of me just flip-flopping between the two of them because I get confused, and now I've confused all of our listeners. Now it's just Candy.
Got it.
Sam is like, do you want to go fuck to celebrate? And she says yes, but first I want to get revved up. So they go to a lingerie store. She loves lingerie. He buys her a set of lingerie and several pairs of very expensive, very fancy tights. She changes into those, and then they climb back on the motorcycle. I mean, she puts more clothes on besides just the lingerie. Of course, yeah. But she puts the lingerie on under her uniform, and they climb back on the motorcycle and they ride away. But they can't make it home. Sam can't make it home. So he pulls over under a bridge and he eats her out on, he lays her out over the motorcycle and he eats her out through her tights. And he eventually rips a hole in her tights. It's a whole thing. It's a fantastic scene. He eats her out and fingers her to an incredible orgasm. And then when she offers to return the favor, she's like, do you want me to suck your dick? No, thanks. Maybe some other time. And then he takes her home. And then 2 weeks later, Candy has not heard from him and she is pissed.
Well, yeah.
Absolutely furious. So
I'm not happy about it.
I know, right? Like he just ghosted her. Like he ate her out on the side of a motorcycle and then he ghosted her. Rude.
Yeah.
Fucking crazy.
There's so many different other types of vehicles that you have to fuck me on.
All right.
There's been a car. There's a motorcycle.
A motorcycle. We haven't even gotten into aerial vehicles yet.
Yep.
There's so much more to be done here. And you're just ghosting?
Watercraft?
Rude.
Jeez.
Exactly. Submersibles? Spacecraft.
Again,
you just stopped with terrestrial vehicles.
There's a whole other world out there.
I think you're severely underestimating your potential, Sam. So she gets a call from the shop that her car is ready. She gets herself all pretty because she thinks she's going to go see Sam, but Sam isn't there. Instead, she picks up her car from Monster and leaves. She goes to the wedding shop next and talks to Gina and asks whether or not Gina's seen or heard anything about Sam. Gina says he's been around, but he's not really known for, settling down with one girl. So I don't really know what to tell. I can send you, I can give him a message if you want me to. And the message is, yeah, fuck you. You're not going to fuck me anymore.
Yeah. Fuck you, period.
Exactly. Fuck you. Stop. No more pussy for you. Stop. After that, so Red Jack is also in the bridal shop when she goes to see Gina. He's there because there's somebody at the shop all the time now. As soon as he hears that she and Sam aren't doing well, he starts hitting on her. And she is receptive because she's hurt more than anything. But then as soon as he sees an in, he comes on way too strong.
Yeah.
And so he eventually what ends up happening is they end up in a changing room. But as soon as she's starting to feel really uncomfortable and wondering whether or not she needs to yell for Gina, there's a commotion in the front. The cops are there. They have come to raid the place. So Jack gives her his gun. He shoves his gun down the front of her panties so that she can walk out as a customer, be escorted out by the police so that he's not found with a gun inside the building. She leaves. She goes home. When she gets home, Bastian is waiting for her. She does not have the money to pay him, so instead he takes her car. And she walks inside I guess that's the fuck end stick of a fuck end day. It's the worst day. Goodbye. That night, Viper has followed Officer Paulson to the Safe House Motel where he has been staying. Borg, Glock, Red Jack, and Sam climb through the balcony window of that motel and kill Officer Paulson, but not before he tells them that the rat in the crew is Monster, their newest prospect. They don't believe that necessarily because there's no reason for Monster to do that. He gains nothing from that. Initially, they're like, well, it can't be him because he's a prospect. He wouldn't even know about the wedding shop plan. But Glock, who is basically his surrogate father, is like, I told him because I thought he was trustworthy. Shit.
Well, and I don't agree with the assessment that he stands to gain nothing. I mean, if he's trying to roll on the cops or something, or maybe trying to pass information on to another group, or I'm not so quick to immediately dismiss that he would not stand to gain anything from fucking over a motorcycle club.
No. So there are like deep like familial connections I haven't really talked about. So Monster is Saint Nick's son. Saint Nick is one of the oldest members of the MC by age, yes, but also by tenure. So they don't necessarily think that Monster would do anything to fuck over the crew because his dad has been loyal for so long.
Okay.
But still, so they decide what they're going to do is they're going to keep Monster locked up at Red Jack's house until they can figure everything else out. They'll take care of Paulson's body. He's dead, so they don't have to worry about that anymore. Huzzah! We killed a cop tonight, kids. Good job, everybody. Gold stars all the way around. While driving away from the scene, Jack and Sam are chatting, and Jack tells Sam about seeing Candy at the bridal shop earlier that day, and Sam starts getting really pissed because Jack hit on her, etc., etc. Bravado, dick swinging, dudes being dudes. He eventually kicks Jack out of his car and then drives immediately to Jolie's house, or to Candy's house, but her apartment is already for rent. She's already left. So he spends the next couple of days trying to track her down and eventually learns that she's actually living in the apartment above the shop that the club has given to her. He goes over to talk to her, fully planning to tell her everything. He does not want to keep it from her anymore. He feels too strongly about her. He thought he could get away with just like, getting her out of his system. No, it's not going to happen. So he goes over to the shop. He goes upstairs. He picks the very flimsy lock. And then like the first thing he says to her when he sees her is, "You need a new lock." Yeah, you do, because apparently motorcycle thugs can just break in. It's terrible.
Well, you have to. It's kind of like the Boy Scouts. You have to get patches.
Yeah.
Different, not just like your patch for the club, but
yeah, sure. Your breaking entering patch.
Yep. Lock picking.
Yep. Lock picking.
Murder conversing.
Larceny. Grand larceny.
Yep.
Murder conversing. Yep. Conspiracy.
Yep. Hot wiring a vehicle.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think of crimes that have funny names, but I can't think of any crimes that have funny names.
Yeah, they're.
Well, it's not like you can get arrested for doing like oogly boogly,
Well, no, but I mean, they kind of want to like give the names of the crimes like some weight. They want you to take it seriously.
Yeah, exactly. It wouldn't sound nearly as bad if we called Grand Theft Auto like my car.
Yeah.
You've been arrested for, hey, that's mine.
Yeah, third degree stuffy takey. Like, no.
Stuffy takey.
Yeah.
We're second degree ouchie.
Exactly.
So he waits in her living room for her to come out of the shower. So she's like towel clad in this scene to boot. She is very emotional, but she does agree to talk to him. He can't take the fact that she's crying. Like his inner monologue at that point, I was like, oh yeah. Like if we weren't convinced you were a dude, I'm convinced you're a dude, because he was like, oh no, she's crying. What do I do? Yeah, you're a dude. You're absolutely a dude. So he tells her that he wants to have a serious relationship with her, but to do that, he has to tell her something very, very serious. And her initial thought is like, what did you do that you can't even tell the criminals you work with?
Remember the murder conversation?
Yeah. This is a dramatic recreation of the conversation that followed. I don't have a dick. Was it shut off in Afghanistan? No, I was not born a quote unquote boy. But you're definitely a man, though. For sure. In every way but the dick. Oh, no. Does that mean you didn't like having sex with me? Oh. That's the conversation. That's the conversation.
That's your takeaway from this, Katie?
Honestly, one of her biggest concerns in all of this was that Sam did not enjoy fucking her because he was using a dildo. And he was like, oh, no. I enjoyed it very much. Great. Like that's her biggest concern. And he was like, marry me immediately.
Yeah, seriously.
Seriously. So after that, they agree to have exclusivity in their relationship. He tells her about his childhood, how his parents forced him to live as a girl, the running away, the always being brought back by the cops, and nothing ever changing until when he was 19, he got into drug running to try to fund his transition. He got arrested and he went to prison. And that's when his parents officially disowned him, is when he went to prison.
Gotcha.
He spent some time in prison. He was pretty fine with that because he was the only dude in a women's prison. And when he got out, he started his transition in earnest. He is on like, T-gel. He's had top surgery. That's why he's so specific about his workout and the way that his body looks in literally every way except having what you would traditionally think of as a dick. He's a man.
That's the only step of the transition that he has not carried out.
Exactly. So she tells him like, well, now I feel like my secret isn't as much of a secret. And my secret, she didn't tell him about the Italian mafia. She tells him that her third job is testing sex toys for a sex toy company. That's why she had that crazy dildo in that first scene. So she has this huge box of sex toys in the corner of her room. And they're like, well, I guess we better take advantage of that now that we've made our feelings known, right?
Seriously.
She asks if she can see him naked. She wants to have a full sexual experience with Sam.
Okay.
He goes to shower just to get himself cleaned up for her. And then they have this incredible sex scene where they use a vibrating butt plug from the box of fancy toys, which was really fun. He teaches her how to jack him off properly and safely. This scene was awesome. I think I wasn't on my phone, so I just wrote 1 million fire emojis in my notes because it was a really, really good scene. So after that, the next scene is the main crew of the Nails. They've all met and are sort of like sitting around in the nearly finished Candyland sweet shop, where Candy is now feeding them all of her testers. So there's just a bunch of dudes sitting around eating all of her baked goods, and she's delighted until Bastian comes into the storefront. Candy convinces everyone that he was just a customer who didn't realize they weren't open yet, and then she just has to go and get something, and she'll be right back in a few minutes. And then she has to go and get more money for him. She's still keeping this a secret from the guys, though. After she leaves, Borg, Sam, and Glock discuss getting Candy to mule drugs for them inside of cakes. So in addition to storing the drugs for them, she will also mule them. Sam doesn't really want to ask her for that at all, but Borg convinces him because he just really, really, really wants Borg's respect.
Yeah.
So it doesn't take much. He's like, this is not a good idea, but he does it anyway. Borg tells him to just take her on a date, butter her up first. The date that he takes her to is at the MC complex, but everybody else is out of town for an affiliate chapter party. So it's just them. They have an outdoor hot tub and they can go skinny dipping and they can enjoy this hot tub together, and Sam doesn't have to worry about being naked.
Yeah.
So he has set up like booze and chocolates in this really beautiful hot tub. They have some flirty fun. She sucks his packer a little bit while they're getting undressed. It's a little bit of foreplay. It's a great time. And then while they're in the hot tub, they're just like talking. They're chatting. They're having a real legitimate date until Red Jack shows up with 3 club sluts and immediately starts getting frisky, talking about orgies. They're both freaking out because Sam's packer is just like laying out in the open and he's naked. And what the fuck are they going to do? So Candy jumps out of the hot tub, throws on a t-shirt, and starts a cat fight with one of the sluts so that she can get enough time for Sam to get his clothes on.
Cause a distraction. Quick!
Yep, exactly. She ends up rolling around on the beach in a cat fight with a girl named Lola so that Sam can get some pants on.
Poor Lola.
I know, right? Lola was a cunt anyway. It doesn't matter. Like, you just fight Lola. Who cares? But so the first she picked up his packer and shoved it in her purse. And then she did that. So when they're finally gone, Sam convinces Red Jack to leave, and they're finally gone. He's like, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Like, holy fuck, where's my dick? I was like, oh no, can you imagine just losing your dick on the beach?
No.
No, that sounds awful.
It does. It sounds absolutely terrible.
Take it off and it's just like it.
But this is the second book we've done in a few weeks where our MMC
lost his dick on the beach.
Lost his dick on the beach.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So they go back inside. Candy puts some shoes on, but he's like, no, don't put any clothes on. Just the shoes. And they walk back inside into the club, where she then does a little dancey dance on the pole for him while she's just wearing her high heels. And then he comes up on stage. She sucks his dick, his real dick, not his packer. She sucks his dick. and he fingers her. This is a total like stripper fantasy scene, 100%.
Thunderstruck is playing,
and thunder, exactly.
Or some other stripper classic.
Exactly. Welcome to the jungle. So once they finish up having that 15 out of 10 stripper scene, I love that scene very much. They go up onto the roof and they drink wine and they lay out on loungers and they look at the stars and they just chat. And then close to dawn, Sam finally asks Candy about the muling, and she's pissed. And he gets defensive. She immediately, like, all the trauma and scars from Jake, she's like, I knew it. He was just buttering me up to use me the entire time. Like, he never even liked me. And so she agrees because, again, she needs the money.
Yeah.
But also she doesn't want anything to do with Sam anymore. So she leaves. He starts projecting. He's like, oh, what? So you like, you're sick of the novelty of me now? She's like, it's not the fact that you don't have a dick. It's the fact that you are a dick. Like, there's a big difference.
It's the crime.
Exactly. It's not even the crime. It's not the criming. It's the fact that you're a jerk.
About the crime.
About the crime. But you could have been a jerk about puppies. You were still a jerk.
Yeah.
Like, that's the real problem. About a week later, Sam and Candy have not spoken at all, but he has gone like full on stalker mode. He doesn't go inside her place of business, but he walks by there several times a day just so he can see her, or he rides by, but he justifies it by saying that he's like keeping track of the club's assets and stuff. Man's just got it hard. That's all. He's just down bad, and he doesn't know what to do about it until the day that he has to go and drop off the packaged pills that she is going to be muling in her first mule cake. I called it a mule cake several times in my notes, and I just loved the thought of a mule cake. It's a mule cake. So when he gets there, Candy is very professionally cold and distant with him. That absolutely crushes him. He can't take it. And then she refuses to actually do the job because he doesn't have the money. He wasn't the one who was supposed to bring the money for this. It was supposed to be Red Jack, but he's not there yet. And Candy, she needs that money today. Again, she won't say why, but she needs the money today and she won't do the job without it. So he goes to find Red Jack. Red Jack's like, come over to my house, have beers and pizza with me and Monster. Monster is still locked in Red Jack's basement, but he's basically his roommate. Creepy psycho roommate, because Monster is a creepy psycho guy, but creepy psycho roommate, just roommate. So Sam goes over to Red Jack's house. He has some beers and pizza with the boys. Again, this is mostly just a character building scene. Both Red Jack and Monster will have books in the series. Red Jack's book is called Cute But Psycho. Monster's book is not out yet, but it has been confirmed. I dug deep into the Goodreads comments today because I was wondering if Monster was going to have his own book, and Miss Merican did confirm it on their Goodreads page.
Well, there you go.
So, fuck yeah. After this scene was all set, I was like, okay, maybe these guys aren't absolutely, because I spent this up until this point, I was like, I hope Red Jack drives off of a cliff and dies of syphilis on the way down.
It's a very high cliff.
But
or fast acting syphilis.
You've got a fast acting syphilis.
It'll kill you before you hit the bottom.
Sorry, Tracy. Okay. After this scene, I was a little bit like, okay, maybe Red Jack doesn't need to die at the bottom of the cliff. Maybe he can just be paralyzed at the bottom of the cliff. He's a dick, but he's not that much of a dick. This scene helped with that a little bit. That evening, Candy is now working on the mule cakes. She spends this scene like grumbling to herself because these dumb assholes have forced her to make garbage cakes. Like, she's not using good ingredients. She's using flavor additives and colorings.
I was gonna say, why would
she's
you?
Like, exactly. So she's like, but now I've made trash. Like, they've made me make trash. And I want to make this. I want to make good baked goods, and now I've made trash, and I'm mad about it. She's locked herself in the back of the shop for the night because her one employee that she has now has gone home. And then Bastion and another enforcer named Goldie show up to get their money. She shuts the lights off and tries to pretend that she's not there, but they break into the kitchen. They find the pills and the half-finished mule cake, and they're like, oh, fuck, this bitch has been holding out on us. Mm-hmm. They eventually find her, but not before she has the chance to call Sam and let him know that people have broken in. He tells her to stall for as long as possible. And so she does her best. Bastian and Goldie eventually find her. They pull her out of the closet where she's hiding. They threaten bodily harm. There's I think they get a pair of scissors, and they tell her to tell them everything that they know, everything that she knows. The only thing that she tells them is that the drugs belong to Borg. Before the MC shows up, guns blazing, and both Bastian and Goldie are dead within a couple of seconds. After that, Borg tells Sam, just get Candy out of here. We will take care of the rest. He takes her upstairs. She explains to him, I owe these people money on behalf of my shitty ex-boyfriend, Jake. She owes the Italians approximately 20 grand. She owes the banks approximately 200 grand.
Jesus.
What? 200 grand. You co-signed 200 grand's worth of loans? Candy.
No.
You're an idiot. I love you, you idiot. Anyway, so he's like, okay, look, we'll
ain't no dick worth that.
Nothing is worth that. He tells her, okay, fine, we'll take care of it. He goes back downstairs to talk to Borg and the crew. Borg is like, we got to get rid of her, not murder her, just get rid of her because she's trouble. She can't be around us anymore. But Sam's like, but what if I like her? What if I like her a lot, though?
But I like her.
And Borg's like, well, fuck. Okay, never mind. We can't get rid of her because Sam likes her, so I guess we'll just handle whatever comes up next. But these guys are Italian, so fuck. Now we're dealing with the Italian mafia on behalf of your girlfriend. So figure it out. And she's definitely muling drugs now. And Sam's like, yeah, okay, fine.
Yeah, no, that seems fair.
That's fair. That's absolutely fair. After he's worked out everything with Borg, Sam goes back upstairs to talk to Candy. He tells her, pack a few things. You can't stay here. Obviously, we just killed Italian mafia people in your kitchen. You can't just stay here.
And the food inspector's coming in the morning.
Exactly. He apologizes for asking her to do the muling at all. She apologizes for reacting the way that she did because her past relationship left her with a lot of trauma, but it forced her to jump to certain conclusions. They make up. They say their I love yous. Well, Candy says I love you. Sam never, the words I love you, said Sam, are never in this book. He never actually says it, but he does feel that way. And then they have I killed a guy for you sex, and it's damn good. It's damn good. So Sam straps on his best dick, and he has a dick that has a special base on it so that it stimulates his dick while he fucks her. So
that's magnificent.
It's awesome, right? It's so cool. So they have this incredible sex scene. She loves it. Once they're all finished, they're having a cuddle, and Sam tells her not to worry about it because they always land on their feet. And that is the moment that they became a we. They became an us, and it was very, very queer. It was very, very cute. I was trying to say cute and sweet at the same time. It came out queet. It's very, very queet. The next evening, Red Jack comes to visit Sam, who is working late at the garage. Jack is here to say some big boy feelings, and his big boy feelings are, ever since you started dating Candy, I don't see you enough. I miss you, my buddy. I do. And Sam's like, oh, I'm sorry. We'll hang out more. Okay, friend? It was a very nice scene. It was very sweet.
How sweet.
And then it was immediately backed up with absolute bullshit because Sam went inside. So Sam went inside to get a stack of legal papers for Samantha Johnson.
Yeah.
He'd been getting legal papers for her. I skipped over it in the telling of the story, but Borg at one point does tell him, hey, I opened one of those envelopes and that Samantha chick is inheriting $2 million.
Mm-hmm. So why do they have these papers?
They're being mailed to Samantha Johnson. My guess is because it's that address is the closest legal address they have that they can track Sam to. That's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I see what's happening.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I get it now.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So Sam initially does not want this money because it's Samantha's money. Mm-hmm. He doesn't want anything to do with his family, but at some point in the book, he starts going, well, if my girl has money troubles, maybe I need to do this. Okay, so he goes inside to get all of those papers so that he can start that process. But the papers are not in his locker. And he is confronted by Saint Nick, who has stolen those papers and is threatening to out Sam to the crew unless Sam gives him information on the drug transports. Because Saint Nick is the rat. But in asking for this, he is essentially outed himself to Sam as the rat.
Right.
So Sam beats his ass and then cuffs him and calls Borg and tells him to come to the locker room, but come alone. Borg gets there. Saint Nick tries to say that he caught quote unquote Samantha in the lie, and now Sam is trying to frame him to cover himself up. Sam says he's the rat and he told me so.
Mm-hmm.
Borg hands Sam a gun and says, show Nick what we do to brothers who aren't loyal. The entire time that they have been having this fight, Saint Nick has been deliberately dead naming and using pointed feminine insults against Sam.
Mm-hmm.
And the second that he said, the second that he called Sam a woman and a bullet went right through his brain.
Oh, I'm sure it did.
It was so cathartic, dude. It felt so good. I was like, I fucking hope it hurt. Like, I know bullets through the brain don't hurt, but I hope it did. Like, I hope it somehow did. Because you deserve to hurt for that shit. So anyway, after that, once the deed is done, Borg tells Sam, I've known about you the entire time because I ran a background check on you when you got here.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't tell anybody. It's not my place. And I knew that you would be loyal if I let you in here. So Sam's like, thank you very much. He feels a million times later. Now he's not worried about his crew kicking him out anymore.
Well, yeah, especially if Borg's on his side.
If Borg's on his side, it doesn't matter.
Yep.
So he immediately gets to cleaning up the mess. He's killed Saint Nick. Borg goes to go and do the first transport. Sam is feeling secure in his place, and he's got candy. It's fantastic. The final chapter is just a wrap up, a cute found family scene in celebration of their successful candy cakes transports. Candy makes 4 batches of hash brownies to take to a party. They go to that party and they have a fantastic time. They have pinned the murder of the Italian enforcers on some Chileans, so they don't have to worry about that. The cops have now backed off significantly because Paulson's dead and Saint Nick is dead. And then Sam presents Candy with the opportunity to pay off all of her debt because he is getting started on the process of collecting his inheritance. And she can't very well say no to that because he wants to start a whole new life with her, and he wants her to be a part of his life here in California with the MC. And they all lived happily, hornily, murderously ever after. The end. That was Coffin Nails, man. Oh my God, that was so, so good. Stripped raw, Coffin Nails MC, California. Damn good book.
Yeah, no, I know I left sometime Thursday, but prior to that, you had nothing but wonderful things to say about the book.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God, I enjoyed it very much. The K.A. Merican or Miss Merican, whatever you want to call them, their writing style is very dense.
I remember you saying that.
So it felt like it was taking longer than it actually took to read the book, but that's not necessarily a bad thing because it was paced really well. It just was packed full of information. So it was a dense read, but it was dang good. It was so, so good. And I want to read more of these books. There are so many of them, though. I don't even know where to begin. 13 just in this series.
I mean, it's no Ruby Dixon.
I know, right? But still, though. And they have at least 2 other series that are still going. I kind of want to read Red Jack's book, though. Hot But Psycho. Because that one's an MM book. And
Interesting.
I kind of want Red Jack to be gay.
Gayer.
Gayist. I picture him like Pablo. What's that guy's name who played Mad Sweeney?
Pablo Schreiber.
Yeah, Pablo Schreiber. I picture him. He's like a big, angry, redheaded guy. Mm-hmm. And now I just want that guy to be gay. So I just want to read that book. That's all. So yeah, that was Stripped Raw. I feel like I should be saying more things about it.
No, you said plenty of superlatives throughout the course of the book.
Wonderful, and absolutely fantastic.
And if you're new to the show, let's refresh everybody's memory. These are not reviews. Every book is a 10.
Yeah, 10 out of 10. Go give them your money. Please go buy it.
Yeah.
And any other book you want from them, because they're all good. I have to imagine. If this one was so good, then the rest of them must be good too.
But before you do that, let Katie tell you what she's into.
Oh, yes. What am I into? This week I am into the song J. Christ by Lil Nas X. It's a great song. I've liked it since the day it came out. But it's not the song itself that I am into this week necessarily. It's the fact that I have a 2.5-year-old daughter who has started just singing.
Yep.
And so the other day I was driving her around doing our errands and stuff. If you've ever heard the song.
I can't say that I have, but
we were driving around. The song came on. It played through. It ended. And then from the back seat, I just heard her little voice go, "Is it?" Which is the chorus of the song. She was just singing it. I mean, she didn't know the words.
No.
But she was just singing the chorus, and nothing in my life has ever prepared me to hear a 2.5-year-old singing Lil Nas X from the backseat.
Me either.
And I was so happy and delighted. So I was a kid who burst into song all the time. My mom has story after story after story of me singing in the car constantly all the time. Our eldest child doesn't necessarily do that. He's not much of a singer. That's not a problem, obviously, but having a little singy diva in the car with me, it makes me very happy. And the fact that her first song she ever sang in the car with me was J. Christ by Lil Nas X is just the cherry on top of that particular Sunday.
Well, I'm glad you got to experience that.
Yes, me too. What are you into, my love?
I am into, I was going to mention the thing that, and I'll save it for another time, but I am very much into the new collaboration between Orville Peck and Willie Nelson. Cowboys are frequently secretly fond of each other, which is a cover of a song from 1981 by, I believe it's Ned Sublett, as I believe it's pronounced. I love Orville Peck. I love Willie Nelson. Orville's got a new album and tour coming out, so I sent it. I saw it dropped the day I sent it to you.
Oh yeah,
like 7 hours prior to that, and I've just been listening to it on repeat. And the video is so fun and silly and sexy at the same time.
Yep.
And so I want everybody listening to hear it and see it. So that'll be the thing that I'm into this week, and I'll link it in the show notes so that you can go listen to it. But in the meantime,
I just say I really love that in the show notes this week we're just going to link 2 very different, very gay music videos.
It's very much
Fuck
so.
Yes.
I was going to go into the outro, but I can't. I need you to tell me what we're reading next week.
Oh, that's right, you do. And I need to check for the name of that again real quick. This week's book came to us as a recommendation courtesy of our Discord, by the way. If you would like to give me a recommendation directly to my face, that's one of the best ways to do it. Come and join me on the Discord and chat with me. An absolutely fantastic time. Next week, we are reading The Frog Prince by S.J. Sanders, recommended by our fantastic listener, Seneca. Thank you so much, Sen. I can't wait to read The Frog Prince for you.
And I can't wait to hear about it. But in the meantime, you can find us on social media. We are on Instagram and TikTok at Cheap Smut. If you would like to send us an email, you can do so, cheapsmutpod@gmail.com. If you go to the show notes, you will find a link to our link tree. The top link in that link will be a link to this book. It is not an affiliate link. We do not get any money for that. We are simply trying to support the author. We do, on occasion, get money from fine folks who support us on our Patreon, just like these fine people: Stephanie Hawkins, Gemma, Lady Squishy Buns, Tia Esk, Rob Gatika, Angela McNichols, Katie Hurd, Gwendolyn Harper, Seneca O, and Rebecca K. If you would like to support us on Patreon, we would love it if you were to do so, and we never ask for anything more than a single $1, because we are, after all, cheap smut. The music that you hear in this and every episode is called Nostalgia by Mackay Beats. You can find it along with thousands of other songs free of charge for you to use at the Free Music Archive, freemusicarchive.org. Now let's put this bad boy to bed because I haven't seen you in several days and I want to hang out with you.
Absolutely. Listener, if there is a book in you, write it. And if there's fucking in it, I'll read it.
And then she will come on this show and explain it to me for your entertainment.
I'm going to go hang out with my husband now. Bye.
Goodbye.